Reset your willpower by bringing rewards into the present. Connecting past and present, you, and achieving your goals. When it comes to doing the things you set out to do, there is this problem of present you not wanting to obey the past you and therefore simply not do the thing your past you set out to do. The things planned for you. There are different approaches to solving this problem, but the main one that also works according to psychology and neuroscience is bringing the reward into the present, meaning making the task you plan to do as rewarding as possible. Therefore, bringing the reward into the present and making it real at this moment, these hours, within a day. What this does for you and for high-performance athletes is actually quite incredibly. It resets your willpower and basically gives you an infinite amount of it. There is this idea of daily willpower being fixed, but turns out loosely based on Andrew Huberman, bringing the reward into the present short-circuits the duration path outcome thinking and gives you unlimited willpower. Again, effectively just another dose of it. This explanation is pretty wacky here. But what this means is this: you can only make yourself doing things by willpower up to a certain point. Do things by willpower up to a certain point. Then you're kind of done. But what you then need to do is to reset by bringing the rewards into the present. Now that's great and all, but how do you actually do it? Of course, this is also a general mindset thing, but what you can do is use habits and automation to reward yourself in the present, using a habit tracker with daily reminders of the thing you want to be doing, then checking them off once you are done with them. Ideally, for the highest degree of automation, you wanna do these simple tasks as similar as possible every single day. Your brain is already automating all repeating tasks anyway all the time, but the more similar things like daily habits are, the more you give your brain a change to basically write code for these tasks that can be performed with less of your actual processing power, therefore giving you more. Example, once you made good posture a habit, you don't need to think about it that much more anymore during the day. Remember, learning to drive probably was freaking hard in the beginning because you need your actual focus and brain's processing power for learning and doing the things you now can do without even, thinking about them. And that's the state you wanna reach. Because then you actually can focus on something else, using your time not only for the primary activity, namely the activity blocking you from doing something else, but you cannot get rid of it most of the time. Like driving, like cleaning, like doing chores, like running, or maybe also like working, and using the now leftover processing power of your brain to use your time twice by introducing a secondary activity, usually something purely based on information processing, like thinking, like listening to audiobooks, podcasts, your automated pocket list of articles and blogs from the internet read by the app Pocket, like learning singing when driving, like trying to improve your posture while running. Because the running, driving, doing the dishes are automated to a degree that gives you enough of your brain's processing power to actually use your time twice, using a time block a second time, hence called secondary activity. This allows you to do 10 minutes of stretching and 10 minutes of reading at the same time. Learn your stretches as good as possible. Do them exactly the same each and every single time or day, or even better, time of day. After a while, depends on the source and the studies you want to recite, but if the frequency is daily, probably within 20 to 40 days, you will experience a huge gain in automation, effectively being called a habit at this point in time. So to sum it up, achieving something needs to be broken down Breaking down things makes them less complicated. The main reason why we don't want to do something is not because we are lazy and dumb, but because we simply do not know how to do something. If it's too complicated. Sometimes too complex also, but most of the time it's just too complicated. Meaning, you can actually just break it down and therefore make it easier. For you. Otherwise you get emotional, and this negative emotion connected to the task or goal you want to do is the main driving variable preventing you from doing the thing past you has set for you. Breaking something down also brings something down from the abstract and purely information-based off-world into the real world, the world you can experience and you live in. Whether this is a simulation or not doesn't even matter. Next, you need to find a way to bring rewards into the present in order to short-circuit your willpower cycle and reset it again. Changes occur on a neurological level, which actually again puts you in the same state as when starting the day. Before using willpower to get present you to do the things past you set out to do. What do you hereby effectively do? You connect past and present you, enabling you to do actually the things set out for you, hereby also shrinking the difference between those two versions of you, the strategic planner or the manager and the worker that or who just does it and then checks it off. Therefore, you need to create a system of planning, doing, tracking that allows you to see the progress, therefore seeing the greater picture, and therefore not giving up, stopping because it's just too complicated. Therefore causing negative emotion when thinking about doing the things. This gives you fear, angst, anxiety even. For some people up to the point where they are no longer able to even do the most basic tasks because they became just too emotionally loaded, but also too complicated, because the brain gets rid of all the code that's not used. Use it or lose it, says evolution, and therefore also you brain or any other efficient algorithm using this powerful principle. Similar to the life or last in, first out sorting algorithm, in order to prevent this from happening, you first use willpower to implement code into your brain by doing the things you want to be done as similar as possible. Your brain by doing the things you want to be done subconsciously as similar as possible, therefore lowering the needed processing power for performing the task and freeing up some to do something as a secondary activity. Reward yourself by using a goal or habit tracker and check off the things you did that brought you closer to achieving the things you want to achieve, therefore making these abstract ideas real and tangible, therefore reducing the difference between the planning you and the working you and effectively bringing them back together.